Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Live with Brinkofspeed and Octane Hour. Tonight, I am joined by Darren. Mark is out for tonight, so it's just you have me and Darren for tonight. But we have a lot of great stuff to talk about. I wanted to bring up a subject that I thought we probably get a lot of input on, which is, will the E-Ray be more popular than the Z06? And I'm going to give you about 6 reasons why I think it will be. You may or may agree or disagree, but
that's why we're here, to have a friendly chat.
I'd like to know what Darren's thoughts are when we get to that part too. Maybe he has some things that are different than my reasons.
And I guess reminder, I think July 18th is the day the build site goes live.
Yep, I can't wait for that day. That's going to be awesome. So we've already got quite a few people in here. Luke Walsh, let me get this off of here. James McCumbee, Jonathan Brown, we got Dr. Corvette, Davy Jones, Elijah Ray, Joey B, Emil, Gregory White, Lance Smith. I think we got a new one on here. I've never seen Eye Sweeper Tube.
Cool name.
Yeah. Kevin Haran, I think Mark Kusti or Kutsi. Maybe new. I don't recognize that name. Joe's on here. Caleb's on here. Everjeff, John P.
Doug Henry. Have we seen him on the lives before? Seems vaguely familiar.
Doug Henry. I don't see that name yet. Joey B's on here. Kerry Block is on here.
Yeah, all the usual suspects.
Yeah, we got everybody on here. So welcome, welcome. We've even got Great White North Corvette.
Which I didn't even tell you. I don't know if you saw Elijah Ray's getting his wheels from Forge Light really soon.
Oh, nice.
And they're... No, I don't think he can chime in here. I don't think anyone else has these wheels on their C8 yet. He did something different. It's pretty cool.
I can't wait to see him, man. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. Get on to this. So right now, I'm going to go to my desktop and show you guys a familiar 2023 Z06 that you can win on the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame Museum. It is a brand new 70th anniversary edition. Now, these things you can't even order anymore, I don't think. I don't think there's a single dealership that's allowing you to order these. And I believe this contest ends next month. So it's been going on for, I think, 8 months now.
Oh, that long for this one?
Yeah, this has been a long one. They're up to almost 900,000 in donations, which is great because it helps the museum out. But yeah, just go into the description. It's linked there. You get extra tickets for being a Brinkofspeed watcher. So I wanted to show you guys that. My last 2 videos, how YouTube helped me buy my Camaro with cash. That's a good one to watch. Also, all cars need this product. We've done a video before on my car, which was 5 easy mods for under 100.
That was one of them.
Which we showed that product on, but this one is more focused on just that product. We do it on my Camaro and his Z71 Silverado, and it's cool. It's a pretty inexpensive product that really does a nice job of keeping your screen fingerprint free.
It works. I mean, you've had it in your car for several months. I've had it for 6 months. It's one of those things. It's like, yeah, why wouldn't you do it?
Right. So I think that's a no-brainer to get that product. Again, that's going to be linked in the description as well. And before we get to the main subject with it, which I know you guys are all ready to get to, I wanted to go over just a few items that are news that I just wanted to make sure everyone was aware of, and if you are, what your thoughts are on these. So first of all, we do have production notes from June, and I won't go over every number, but it looks like the total number so far for 2023 is 43,224 C8s.
That's not counting Z06s?
No, that's counting Z06s.
43,000 roughly.
Yeah, 43,224. I mean, that was as of June 23rd. So we're probably a little bit higher than that, but
that's still, when it's all said, I mean, what was 2022, like 37,000 total?
36, I think.
Right, so they're going to be, that's substantial.
Yeah. And they're going to continue to produce them, I think, until the end of, or the middle of August, I think. Probably 2 weeks before they go over to the 2024 model, or maybe right up to the 2024
Well, this is the conundrum
model.
right now, because we have a friend that's in that situation, is if you get the call for your 23, do you take it or do you wait?
Exactly.
And there is a possible strike in September hanging over everyone's head.
Right.
And maybe price increase, although I've got a little bit of opinion on that we can talk about later.
Yeah, let's talk about it. I mean, there's actually a thread on the Mid-Engine Corvette forum talking about who believes there's going to be a price increase for 2024. And there's actually a lot of people that think there's not going to be.
I tend to, believe it or not, I'm in that camp a little bit.
Are you?
I think it's going to be pretty minor. Now, they may get you with some options.
Sure.
It seems like that's what they've been doing a lot, right? Some of these options are pretty inflated now.
Yeah.
You know, what the front lift is $2,300 now? When you got yours,
2,500.
wasn't it only like 16 or 1700?
Front lift is 2,580, I think.
But back in 2020,
Yeah.
it was
2020. I bought it. I think it was 1,600.
right. So that's a huge difference.
Huge difference. Yeah.
And that's a 25% increase.
Yeah. By the way, I forgot to say, I hope everybody had a wonderful 4th of July yesterday. I know we did.
I survived. Sakami did it.
We drove back from Florida. We had a great time in Florida. Sorry I wasn't able to go live last Wednesday night, but I was on vacation and we had a great time. So I hope everybody else did and stayed safe as well. Number 2, the LT6 ticking noise. Looks like GM has come up with a solution for this. And the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because typically in the past, it's taken multiple years for GM to come out with either we're not going to fix this or we're going to fix it. Take, for example, the C8 Z06. It took them like 2 or 3 years to come out and say, we're not going to fix the valve issue or the valve spring or whatever it was that was a major, major issue with that LT7 or LS7, I'm sorry. And then with the LT4, it took them like 5 years. I think it was 5 years when we did that video on your car where they actually had the fix for GM to, you know, you to take your car to a Chevy dealership and them to fix the overheating issue. So for them to come out with this ticking LT6 fix very quickly was very, very impressive. And your dealership knows exactly what to do. And you should definitely check out these articles because when you scroll down, it tells you exactly for the right bank and the left bank and how many hours it's going to take and all so on and so forth. So all of this stuff is linked in the description. Do any of you out there have a Z06 that needs this done? I'd like to know in the comments if you do or not.
It seems to be when people are having it happens pretty quick, right?
Yeah, I think so. I know there's one person on the Mid-Engine Corvette forum who's already scheduled their Z06 to go into the shop to get this done. And it's a pretty lengthy service, just depending on which bank it's in. But again, I'm impressed. I'm very happy that GM is taking this engine seriously. It's a brand new type of engine for them. And there was a lot of concern way before it ever came out that there was going to be issues with it. Most people were worried about vibration issues because of it being a flat plane crank. But this ticking issue is definitely something that would worry any owner if you're hearing that. So again, let me know in the comments if any of you have it and if you're already talking with your dealership to get this fixed. And then next, this is interesting, this next one. Did I go to the...
No, you're on the wrong stream.
Yeah.
No, you're past that.
Let me go back to that. I thought I had clicked off of that. Okay, now we're back on the desktop, I believe. Yeah, there we go. So have any of you seen this? This says, check your underbodies as Chevy has a PDI issue with the new Corvette. And this is Z06 only. This under tray apparently has been installed wrong. And when you drive for a little bit, it warps. Kind of like a... And it's a pretty serious thing. So...
What have they attributed that to?
Just the installation was wrong.
Just poor.
Yeah, poor installation at the factory. So kind of interesting. Let me know if any of you have this issue. I just found out about this week, and it kind of blew my mind that would be something that would come up.
Just
something
somebody being
as
sloppy at the factory.
Yeah.
Which, it's funny because I haven't seen it as much on these newer C8s, but remember my Hypersonic Gray had that wave? And we started looking.
Even mine has that.
I know, but we saw it on a lot of cars that people didn't realize, and some of them were pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Like, I hate to even bring it up tonight because people are going to go look and they'll be like, dang it.
Just don't tell them where it's
Exactly.
If you don't know to look, you won't see it.
But once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Yeah, once you see it, you can't unsee it. And Chevy did pay to have that fixed.
Yep, they took it off and put a new one and repainted it.
Yeah. So that is it for that. As far as before we get to the main subject stuff. So yeah, I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday. And if you have not smashed the thumbs up button, please do so. That really helps YouTube know that you're enjoying the content and helps us out big time. So let's go ahead and get to the main topic, which is why the E-Ray will be more popular than the Z06. Now hold on. I know a lot of you out there have already commented, there's no way. I would much rather have a Z06 than the E-Ray. And if you ask me, I, of course, if I have my option, I would buy the Z06 before I would buy the E-Ray. But that's not an option for me right now. So I'm trying to find all the positives, and I'm trying to help you guys find positives. And I think I've found quite a few positives that you may or may agree with, may or may not agree with. So the first one is the E-Ray will have no gas guzzler tax. Now that gas guzzler tax is pretty up there. I mean, if you don't buy a Z07 package, it's $2,600. If you buy the Z07, it's $3,000. So that's an extra $2,600 to $3,000 off of your E-Ray.
I didn't realize there was a difference between the Z06 and Z07.
Oh yeah, because of the arrow.
That's enough to interesting.
Yeah. When you look on the builder, it specifically shows $2,600 and $3,000. So yeah, that's number one. Number two, you will not have any LT6 issues. Right now, it's the first year the Z06 has been built. They're having their issues. It's not just the engine ticking. The transmission had that leaking issue, and I know a few of you know people that have had that. I don't know if there's any of you on here that have had that. We know Stradman had it. So anyway, you'll avoid that because you have the LT2 instead of the LT6.
Yeah, I mean, the LT6, there's a lot of unknowns, right? I mean, no one, well, one person has over 25,000 miles on that car, but that's one of, what, 3,000 people?
Yeah.
Most people have a handful, a couple hundred miles.
Yeah, if you look at how many Z06s have been built, it was just over 3,000, I believe.
I think the one person I've seen is that Vet Titan everyone sees on YouTube. He has, I think, close to, on one of his, 25,000 miles, literally.
3723 Z06s have been built.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, there's only a handful of people with 20-something thousand miles on their Z06.
So who knows? There could be bigger issues that we don't even know about.
Yep. So that's number two. Number three, I think it'll actually be faster for the everyday person. Now, a lot of you said, no, it's not going to be faster. It's going to be quicker because it's quicker 0 to 60. It's quicker to the quarter mile. But ultimately, the Z06 is faster than that car. But the everyday average person is not going to drive that car over the quarter mile, if that. So really, they're going to have a faster car.
It's going to be a more manageable power band. You know, even with traction control, you get on it, could scare you, and you could back off because you'd be like, whoa, I just got loose. And
right.
Where E-Ray, you're just going to slam
You're not going to get
loose.
loose.
It's just going to go.
Yeah, you're just going to go. So I thought that was a good number 3. Number 4, you'll actually be able to drive it in the winter. There's a lot of people that won't, like Mark, but I probably will. Like, I'll probably drive it in the rain. I don't really care. As long as it's going to handle good, there's going to be some people out there. I'm sure you guys have seen the videos of Corvette owners out there driving their car in the snow.
Yeah.
Which is crazy in my opinion. But with the E-Ray, it's not. The engineers have said that it handles phenomenally in the snow. So there's another, hey, it's better than the Z06 or more popular because of this reason.
I guess it's a snowplow too.
It could be, if the snow is deep enough.
Well, I can just imagine when it snows, you hit big chunks of snow. I mean, you're only 6 inches off the ground.
Yeah.
You're going to hit some stuff.
You are. I mean, you got to be careful with it still. Back in the day, though, I owned a 1995 Camaro Z28, and believe it or not, that was my only car.
Yeah,
So-
no, it could definitely for some people that live in some of those climate areas, whether it be Colorado or Oregon.
That's where I was. I was Colorado.
And you truly, that's going to be your one and only.
It was my one and only. It was rear-wheel drive with 275 horsepower.
Right.
And what I did is I had a weight set back then that was 300 pounds. So in the winter, I made a box that fit in the rear hatch where my T-tops went, and I could stick all 300 pounds of those weights in that box.
Is that how much you'd put in there?
I put the whole thing. So I had 300 pounds on the rear tires, and of course I put really good, not Blizzaks, but like, is it called siphoning the tires? I would get the tires siphoned. I think that's the correct terminology, where they like slit the tires and make them more grippy. And I already would get like really good, like, I guess you call them all season or snow tires. And man, that's what I drove around with. Close to 300 horsepower, rear-wheel drive. It had traction control and ABS, and I learned how to drive in the snow with that Camaro. So if I can do it in that Camaro, you can really do it in an E-Ray. So that's number 4. Number 5, kind of similar to what we were talking about with number 3, but it easily puts 100% of its power down to the ground, whereas the Z06 does not. Even the Stingray doesn't all the time put 100% of its power down to the ground. The E-Ray will, because it's all-wheel drive. So just another reason why people might flip and say, you know what, it's going to be easier to drive, no matter what. And then number 6, so there aren't any super expensive E-Ray packages like there are on the Z06. And really the only super expensive one on the Z06 was Z07. But they also had the 70th anniversary edition, which was what, $6,500? So that's pretty expensive just for a package. But the Z07 was the real expensive package. So if you went non-carbon fiber with your Z07 package, it was $17,000 and some change. If you went carbon fiber with that package, you were looking at almost $20,000 extra dollars just to go Z07. So a lot of people wanted that because they wanted the carbon ceramic brakes, but even if you didn't get that package and bought the carbon ceramic brakes, it was still $9,000. Well, guess what? You're getting the carbon ceramic brakes on this E-Ray for no extra on top of the starting MSRP, which was $1,029. So you can build out a 3LZ E-Ray with carbon ceramic brakes for $113,000 coupe, and a convertible for $120,000.
Right.
You do that same thing with a Z06 without Z07, and you're going to be in the 130s to 140s.
Right. Yeah, it's $20,000 to $30,000 difference.
I mean, just for example, I know someone that has a 2LZ. It does not have Z07, and his car was 146. So the Z06, whether people understand this or not, is actually about 20 to 30 grand over what the E-Ray is going to cost most people. I know the base model E-Ray number looks close to the Z06 because it's only like $4,000 difference. but when you start adding all that stuff up, it really comes up quickly. And it's going to be neat to be able to have a fully loaded E-Ray for a fraction of what you're going to pay for a fully loaded Z06.
Yeah, and you know pretty quick, because I think they're pretty much already out there, is there's going to be Z07 body parts available for the E-Ray, which would be kind of cool.
Exactly. General Lee just says my non-Z07 was 145. So there you go. His non-Z07
and
Z06.
his is a coupe. Oh, but it's 3LZ.
It's 3LZ.
Right.
But still, that shows you. 3LZ, Z06, non-Z07, doesn't even have carbon ceramic brakes, was 145.
I think doesn't he have carbon ceramic brakes?
He doesn't.
Really?
Not General Lee.
He might. He
let
must.
us know. I don't think he does, but let us know in the comments. I can't remember. But still, for that to be the number 145, now obviously he got some goodies on top of that, but for the E-Ray to be 113 for a coupe, 3LZ, with carbon ceramic brakes. Okay, so he does have carbon ceramic.
I'm laughing at Diego, which is good to see Diego. We haven't seen Diego in the chats for a long time, so welcome back.
Welcome, Diego. What's he saying?
Oh, he said he paid $152 for a 2014 Turbo S.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, those are expensive.
Which those have gone up a lot in value,
They
too.
have.
I mean, imagine buying a 2023 Turbo S is what, $250 by the time you option it out?
Yeah, so my buddy that works at Porsche back in 2018 bought a souped up 2009 911 Turbo, not the S, just the Turbo. It had about 600 rear or all-wheel horsepower, and bought it for about $65,000 in 2009. Or I'm sorry, in 2018. It's a 2009. He put it on Bring a Trailer last week, and it brought $130,000. So that shows you how much they've gone up. It is a manual as well, so that helped it out big time. But yeah, those are, my biggest reasons for why I think that the E-Ray is going to be more popular. As of right now, people don't really understand everything about the E-Ray and the differences between the Z06. But I think once people start seeing it out on the street, people start seeing it at dealerships, they start actually putting eyes on it, I think they're going to realize pretty quickly. And once the builder starts being available on the 18th, they're going to build an E-Ray, then they're going to build a Z06, and they're going to go, man, I can get a lot for my money with an E-Ray, whereas the Z06 I can't. So it got me excited because I had never really looked at it that way before. I always thought of it as, man, it's only going to be about $4,000 less than my Z06 build.
Yeah, Z06, you're pushing 150 for your builds, and then you start adding the tax, the gas guzzler tax. It's a different animal buying a car for, call it 110, 120 versus 150, 175.
It is.
Those are different numbers.
Yeah, it's totally different.
And also the other thing we don't know, that's a huge factor for any of us, but insurance costs. I mean,
that's true.
It's got to be less.
You would think it would definitely be less.
I mean, technically it's a much safer car.
Right.
So I don't know.
I haven't asked someone, I don't know if you have or not.
I've heard some people with their Z06s seem to be pretty reasonable for most people.
Because it's naturally aspirated.
Right.
So, I mean, I know my first Z06 I bought, I was 25 years old, and it blew my mind, the insurance number. It was $155 a month. That's it.
I'm surprised you didn't tell me it was more than that.
No, it's dirt cheap.
Yeah, I was going to say, I would think it would be $300-$400.
That's what I thought it was going to be. But they said, no, we consider it a business class car.
Yeah.
So that's how all my Corvettes worked until I bought my C7 Z06. As soon as I bought my C7 Z06, Allstate said, not anymore.
Yeah.
This thing has a supercharger on it. And because it had a supercharger, my insurance rates went up big time. So I just now brought them back down the last few months with National Corvette Museum insurance. But for the longest time, I was paying pretty high premiums on that LT4 engine. So I think both the E-Ray and the Z06 probably won't be too bad because they're both naturally aspirated. Now the ZR1 being twin turbo is going to be crazy, I would think. So yeah, what other things can you think of that you think may make the one more desirable than the other or more popular?
Well, I think the big thing is availability, right? I mean, it's like you said at the very beginning of the show, given the chance, you know, a dealer comes to you and says, okay, Mike, you're up. Do you want a Z06 or an E-Ray? You got a choice of both.
Right.
Then it comes down to just dollars and cents. Like, where are you at financially? If you can make the leap, you do the Z06, just like what Mark Custy just said here about the sound, right? I mean, you can't beat that.
You can't beat it, no. Well, and someone like me, and you're not as much of a track guy, but you're still similar in your wants. And I know you probably would take the Z06 over the E-Ray.
Yeah,
as well.
I would.
But a lot of people probably wouldn't.
But you wouldn't be, I don't think you'd be disappointed. I think I told you the story back when I bought my first C7 Z06. And I wasn't sure what I wanted. It was kind of a financial thing too, to be honest.
Sure.
And I was looking at buying one brand new. It was 2016, I believe, or 17. And this is before they started discounting them.
Right.
And I drove the Grand Sport against the Z06 back to back.
Yep.
At the dealership, they let me drive
No
both.
contest.
No contest. I mean, and I was all set on buying a Grand Sport. I thought, you know, I like the wide body kit. I don't really need more than 500 horsepower. It's great. And we drove it. The guy put me in the Z06 after that. I'm like, yeah, you just sold. There's no way I could do that. Where I think the E-Ray, it's going to be a different story. You're going to get in that. It's going to be a different kind of power than the Z06, but you're going to still feel like, wow, that was fast. Like our cars, I was messing around with mine the other day, launching it. That 0 to 60, it's so fast. Like you think about it, like how much faster could it be? It really can't. I mean, you're pretty much at the sub 3 second 0 to 60. It's fast. But then you hit 80, 90, and you feel like, all right, I'm going fast. But it's not like a 06 where you're holding on and, you know, you're getting tunnel vision and you're just like, whoa, and it just keeps pulling to like 140, 150. Our cars, you hit 100. Now you're looking in your mirror and doing your thing. You're not, you know, knuckle gripped, holding on for mercy, you know, where Z06 will get you in trouble. It's a lot of power and just keeps pulling through. So it'd be risky for guys like us to drive an E-Ray and see what we feel like. Does it still have that controlled feel, or does it have that adrenaline rush where you feel like, whoa, this is a fast car? I don't know.
I think it's going to have more of a adrenaline rush than the Z06 because, you know, when I drove Jesse's Z06, from a stop, all it would do was spin the tires, obviously. And even anything in first gear was going to spin the tires.
Yeah.
You know, second gear, I don't remember. It's been too long. We had a pretty warm day. I think it was warm enough that it was getting decent grip. But that's the thing. You're not going to have to worry about with the E-Ray at all. Right. You're going to always have grip. And that is very important to most people. Most people don't want to feel the rear end of their car getting loose.
Well, it's also if you're at a light and you're pulling, you know, a hard left, right?
Yeah.
Forget about the traction control. It works magnificently, but in our cars, I mean, you can get loose, and next thing you know, you slide. The roads don't necessarily know what your ABS can do and all your traction control, and you hit something, you slide, all of a sudden, boom, you just slid into a pole or off the road or into a curb. Where E-Ray, just because I've driven Porsche turbos that are all-wheel drive, and it feels like you're in a slingshot on a railroad track. It's just, you know, there's no.
Well, and same with, you know, the NSX.
Oh yeah.
You know, I drove that NSX plenty of times, and I did that video on it. You guys can, you know, check that out. But
which that's where guys are going to get in trouble. Guys that have been driving E-Rays and they get in the Z06, so they're going to think, and they're going to realize they start sliding the car and bad things happen.
Yeah. But yeah, that NSX, you can make a turn while you're flooring it in first gear, and it's still not going to lose grip.
Right.
It's that amazing. And that's going to be the same with the E-Ray. You're going to have all the grip you need plus more. It's going to look just as good as the Z06, especially if you decide to put all of the Z07 type of aero on it. But you know what? I'm growing to love the non-Z07 Z06. I know you are too, because we both love that low wing. I mean, look at our Stingrays.
Yeah, I actually did a delete on mine. Well, you kind of, because yours wasn't Z51, but I paid extra to get the low wing.
Exactly. Yeah. So you know, I'm planning on just leaving my E-Ray looking like the non-Z07 Z06 because I really do love that look now. And so you're driving this beautiful car. It's going to sound like a Stingray for the most part, but it isn't going to feel like a Stingray. It's not going to act like a Stingray when you push down on that accelerator at all. So again, I could be completely wrong. I don't know, but I really think people are going to start talking more about the E-Ray, and the Z06 is kind of going to go on the back shelf for a little while once that E-Ray starts being delivered to dealerships. I really do.
It'll be interesting to see what people think of the sound those front motors make, because it is an EV electric type sound. It's not a mechanical.
No, it's not.
So I don't know.
And it's going to be interesting to hear what it sounds like from the outside.
Right. Do you even hear it? Probably a little bit, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, you hear electric vehicles.
Yeah. It's just if someone's really getting on it.
Yeah. It is. It's going to be interesting. I'm excited. Like I said, I had to renew my excitement even more. And I think that this is why I'm more excited now.
Yeah, we talked about it, you and I personally, before. If we were to go back in time a year ago, you know, before anything was leaked on the Z06, and the Z06, they pulled the sheet off the top of it at the unveiling, and it was the E-Ray, that was the Z06.
Oh, yeah.
People would have been ecstatic about it.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
You know. So, no, people, I don't think anyone's going to be disappointed. I think people are going to get more excited once the car's out and people see it. And the availability, it's going to be a lot more accessible to most people. Cost factor, the just all little things, you know.
Yeah, I mean, again, when you start building them side by side, I think a lot of you are going to go, wow, I thought this was going to be right around the same price as my Z06 build, and it's 20 grand less. Yeah. And I get more.
Yeah, and hopefully some of the dealers, too, have managed their list a little bit differently with the E-Rays, which I think a lot of them have, where the expectations have been tempered a little bit. The gentleman that came earlier that sold the set of OEM wheels that I had set in my garage, you know, he was joking. He was on the same list you and I originally were on, and he kind of just gave up, and he's on a couple other lists. But so many people, going back to last summer, I remember our chats, everyone talking about what numbers they were and when they were getting their car, and 95% of us don't have a car right now, right? Because it's just not going to happen. And, I mean, the car legitimately is sold out for 2 to 5 years, depending on, I mean.
100%.
So if you're not already on a list or have some sort of agreement with the dealer where you know you've got, you know, an allocation coming up, it's just going to be either luck or you're going to have to pay, you know, a premium to get a Z06 in the next 2 to 3 years. And hopefully the E-Rays, if they're making, you know, a 2-to-1 ratio or even 3-to-1, they're going to be more available, and people will have the ability to get that phone call and actually have their car built and build it the way they want it. So.
Yeah, and, you know, hopefully in the next couple of years, we'll actually start seeing dealerships with lots of vets on their lots. I mean, obviously, if it's a small dealership and they don't normally have a lot of vets, that's one thing, but we have some dealerships around here that usually have quite a few vets sitting on their lots. So hopefully that's the case, and the E-Ray is very easy to order or just walk in and buy right off the lot, you know. So yeah, those were my thoughts. I thought it would be a neat subject to talk about tonight, and just see what you guys are thinking about it as well.
And you've got some cool new colors.
You got some really cool new colors. And who knows, maybe I'll start liking cacti. We're going to see when I get to Carlisle.
Right.
Because it'll be there.
It's probably a lot better in person, but I don't think it's your taste.
I have seen some comments lately where people said they saw the cacti in person and they liked it.
Yeah.
But anyway, we got a lot of people. Robert, of course, puts it up there. Robert, you got to rub that in my face every single time, huh?
Hey, if Mark T's in here, he's already committed to that color.
Is he really?
Yeah, that's what he's doing. I don't want to spoil his parade, but yeah, oh yeah.
Really, Mark?
Unless he's just joking with me.
I thought he didn't like it.
No, he likes it.
Oh, okay. Ronald Jackson says it's a really cool color. All right, well, I guess we'll see.
But that's the good thing of having all the colors. You know, get what you want. Don't care what other people think. Get caffeine. Get whatever.
Exactly. So what did New Horizons say? Carlos says, yeah, the C8s are more and more common at the dealerships now, at least in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Tell me how I know, LOL. Tell me how I know.
He did a thing on the weekend. You probably didn't see it. He went to a bunch of dealerships. And,
oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to check that video out. That's a good idea, man.
Yeah, we're not too far from C8 Stingrays being on showroom floors where you could buy one.
So I have something else I want to talk to you guys about that my brother-in-law brought up to me, and I want to see what you think about it, and I want to see what all of you guys think about it. So my brother-in-law is pretty much the general manager of a Cadillac dealership in Colorado Springs. And he said that he doesn't think, from everything he's been hearing and seeing from GM, that we're going to ever see a lot of cars on the lots anymore. And no discounts and no low interest rates. Now, right now, I think GM has a 0% on something that they're offering.
They have low rates on certain vehicles, like the trucks are really low.
Okay.
2-3%.
He says that COVID, the last 3 years, have taught GM that they can make a lot more money off of these vehicles, no matter what the vehicle is, by holding them back.
Yeah.
So what they're doing is they're packing lots full of cars that they normally would ship to dealerships.
They're just piecing them out.
They're piecing them out and making it look like dealerships have hardly any inventory, so that us, the consumer, pays more.
Right. Yeah, it's a sense of urgency. Oh, I got to have it right. In fact, I have a friend that just bought an Escalade, or tried to, from Sewell, and then ended up with a different dealer. But it was literally like a fight to get this one Escalade that came in that was unspoken for. I mean...
Yeah, so they're making more money.
But do you think his opinion was strictly about the Cadillac brand or GM in general?
He said... I mean, he made it a blanket statement about all car dealerships. Now, I didn't clarify that with him, but he did say GM for sure. That GM is not going to be doing the discounting. They're not going to be doing any of that stuff because they figured out that they can make a lot more profit.
Well, you know, the Tesla pretty much does that, right? It's pretty much, you know, you buy and order your car and it shows up.
Right.
You know, I don't even know, 8-10 weeks later.
But they even had to discount.
A little bit, but you know what? Tesla has the highest margins. It's 45% margins in their cars. Think about that. That's a lot of margin.
That is a lot of margin.
I don't know what GM's is.
I don't either. Real quick, thank you, John Somerville, for the first super chat of the night. By the way, if you haven't super chatted, this is what it looks like. It brings it up in bold, yellow, or whatever color it is. And he says, I'm bringing my new CT5V Blackwing to Corvettes and Coffee on Saturday. Awesome. Can't wait to see you there. And I think I might be driving that car, right? Doing a little review on it. So that's going to be fun. But yeah, thank you so much for the $10 super chat, John. I appreciate it. And that reminded me to go ahead and tell everybody, if you're in the DFW area, this Saturday is Corvettes and Coffee at Corvette World Dallas. Please come out and join us. Should be a good time.
So back to what your brother-in-law was saying, did you guys have any conversation about price increases for 24 models?
I didn't ask him about that. I should have asked him.
I think it's going to be more subtle than what we saw last year. I don't think it's going to be a dramatic number.
Well, yeah, if we go, actually, I'll just pull that up on the Mid-Engine Corvette forum because there is a nice...
What were they saying? I didn't see it.
I'll show you. There's a good poll going on right now. I think it's right here.
I mean, the counter argument to that is they know, they see what the Z06s are selling for, and they think, well, we should be getting more of that pie.
Yeah. You know, I think they took it off the slider. When they take it off the slider, it's a little harder to find. Let me see.
But yeah, I personally don't think there's going to be it's not going to be a huge increase.
Let's see. I bet this will bring it up.
But I think they'll get you on some options. That's where it'll be hidden in the prices.
Here it is. I found it.
I mean, how much are colored seatbelts now?
600?
Is that much?
Yeah, I think they're
And that's 99% profit.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It doesn't cost any more to make a red seatbelt than a black one.
All right, here's the poll. What do you guys think? Right now, the two largest numbers are 15.87%, saying that the base model Stingray will go from $65,895 up to $67 or $68. So, $3,000 increase almost. And then the highest increase, they're saying it'll be about $69,895, which would be a $4,000 increase.
Yeah, I really think it's going to be on the lower end.
Well, you got 12%. Actually, you got about 23% that say about 66,000. So that'd only be about less than 1,000 to 1,008.
Has anyone said, or when do you think we're going to find out? Do you think GM gives up on the 6 month holding your Z06 and the 5,000 points?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I kind of feel like they're going to. And I don't have a good reason. It's just I just feel they're going to.
Well, no, I think you're probably right. I read something on Corvette Blogger a couple of weeks ago where he was talking about that, and he said basically GM's not doing a good job of
monitoring
this.
The points thing is ridiculous. Like, why even give you the? I mean, if you're keeping the car, you're keeping the car. The points isn't going to entice you. And it's not going to entice you if you're going to sell it either, because you're going to far make and exceed.
It's definitely weird. For sure.
That just seemed like it was optics. I don't see the 5,000 doing anything.
Yeah.
And then they had issues with that. I think that goes away. And again, the anti you can't sell it hasn't really proven to do much, really, other than cause, a bunch of what ifs if you do have a warranty issue, how that's all going to play out, which we still don't really know.
Right. Joey B says that he finally got his 500,000 points this weekend. Awesome. And Bruno says, even with the price increase, still a great deal on an outstanding vehicle. You're right. I mean, it's interesting. If they do mark it up another $2 or $3 grand, then we're going from a 60,000 base all the way up to almost a $70,000 base with just the Stingray. So that gets up there, and then eventually you put all the stuff on it, and now you're at 100 grand just like that.
Yeah, and you got more pressure coming on C8 Stingray sales, right? It's not going to be as hot as it's been the last couple of years. So doing a price increase on that of substantial amount, I don't know. The other thing too for people to look into, I don't know if you saw this, anyone that currently has a GM and is participating in the point system, whether it be with their whatever vehicle, did you notice you got an email? Terms and conditions have changed on those points. Yeah. So everyone should look for that.
I'll have to look at it. I'm sure they did change it.
I just briefly kind of browsed through it, and from what I remember seeing, there was some, they changed a couple things, including the points do expire.
Oh, I don't doubt it. Yeah,
but I don't think before they did on the ones that we had done.
So real quick, Air Force X super chatted. Thank you very much for the super chat. He says, I think the Stingray exhaust with aftermarket round tips looks better than the Z06 exhaust in the middle. To me, it flows better anyone else. I mean, I loved my round tips that I had on my car. I love the round tips that he has on his car. I've always loved the center exit exhaust. It does look really clean, very aggressive. It does make the sound a little bit different too. Not a lot different, but it does make it a little bit different. I like them both. The old Corvettes had the outer exit. The C5 started the center exit.
Which will bring us to our question tonight.
That's true. That's interesting that you just chatted about exhaust, because our question is about exhaust for someone to win a shirt. Or actually, you know what? Let's give away one of those underdogs.
Okay, go big tonight.
Yeah, let's go big. We got 190 something people in here. By the way, if you have not smashed that thumbs up button, please do so. Really helps YouTube know. If you're new on the channel, thank you for joining us. We always do a weekly giveaway. Most of the time we give away shirts, but tonight is special. We're going to go ahead and give away this Underdog. You guys always see this stuff in the camera.
Here, you can show them.
Yeah, this is good stuff. You should definitely stick around for this.
What is this, 30 milliliter? This is your coating product.
Yep.
You can with this, you could easily coat. If you're talking about Corvettes, you're gonna coat the entire car, the wheels, the glass, all the plastic.
And it's better than ceramic coating, in my personal opinion, if not for the reason of the flash time. If that's the only reason, it's better. But I have more reasons than that. But the flash time is super long.
This is very user friendly.
Let me just take this up there real quick while you're talking.
But yeah, the ceramic coating, that's a whole other conversation for another time, which we need to have Trevor on here to talk about it, or actually Joel from Underdog. There's so many misnomers about ceramic coating, what it actually is. There's different types of products that are all the same concept. You know, we've had these on our cars for quite some time. In fact, one of my vehicles almost a year now. It's the same experience you have with ceramic coating. And then we get into the whole other debate. That's why I wish Joel was here about 1 year versus 5 year versus 8 year. And he kind of calls BS on some of that. There's a little bit of truth to that. But
he's been in the ceramic business for like 20 years.
And he started Ceramic Pro. He's one of those guys. So he gets it. It's all marketing. You know, I think what he would tell you if you asked him the question, he would probably have kind of a smart ass response back to you. But it's rated the same as like a 5 year coating. But there's so many variables, right? Is your car sitting outside all the time? Are you washing it every week? Even just using regular soaps and detergents will have an effect on your coatings.
Absolutely.
You know, do you actually take it through a car wash, which is a no-no, but you know what? I just did it in my truck. I felt really bad doing it, but it was so dirty. And you know how hot it's been here?
Actually, I talked to Trevor about that because my wife has a friend that wants to get this stuff done to his Mercedes.
Right.
And he's like, but I feel like I'll mess it up because I take it through a car wash. So what I said to Trevor is, what if he takes it through a touchless wash only?
Right.
And Trevor's like, that's exactly what he should do.
Right.
Because the UndrDog products are going to, you know, make that touchless wash
even
rip
better.
everything off very easily, and it's not going to harm the UndrDog at all.
Yeah, it's true. You know, the place I go, there's a place by us that it's not touchless, but honestly, it's okay. But still, I see them with those brushes as they go in there, and I just think, you know what? I'm pretty good at it, as you know. I'll just in another year or two, I'll just polish it and redo it. But you know what? My old truck, I used to run that thing through the wash all the time because it's so big and it'd be so muddy. And you're right, you gain the benefits of having coating, so the dirt comes off a lot easier. And the reality is, I will have my truck more than 2 years, probably not. So would I even care? But I'm getting all the benefits of the coating on it, and I'm happy about it. But
yeah, so this is over $100 if you buy it on.
I think it's $150.
$150.
Which did you show them? Yeah, it's got the quick detail.
Oh, yeah,
it's got the soap.
it.
It's got the perps, which perps is a liquid clay bar.
Yeah.
I think soon we've talked about it. We're going to do a video kind of showing magic in a box, showing just using this box how you coat a Corvette with doing no other polishing compounds.
Yeah.
Just because you get a great finished product. We've seen it done and we've done it.
So we've got quite a few people in the comments saying, yep, it is a phenomenal product. Obviously, Trevor from the Detail Lab is talking it up because he's been using it for years now. And if you haven't seen the video of what he did to Robert's 1992 C4 Corvette with polishing it and then putting UndrDog on it, it is phenomenal the way he made that black C4 look.
Yeah, I like it because it's safe for pretty much everything. So you can do matte finishes, you can do plastic, you can do glass, you can do interior trim pieces, as you've seen I've done in my car and truck. You can do the leather seats, which I've done on multiple vehicles.
And here's the other thing I love
wheels,
about it.
brake calipers, my exhaust, my license plate.
Yeah. Here's the other thing I love about it. So I usually wash my car like once a month, maybe once every 3 weeks. And my buddy came into town, and my buddy is like, he's very knowledgeable about stuff like this. He keeps his cars perfect. And he, of course, complimented me on how clean my Corvette and Camaro were. And I said, hey, Chris, I bet you didn't know this, or I bet you can't tell this, but I haven't washed my Corvette in 3 weeks. And he was like, what? I said, yeah, that's what UndrDog does for you. Because I have UndrDog on there, as long as I'm not going out and hitting puddles or something like that and getting, it's just dust that's on there. But the dust doesn't stick as easy, so it's a lot less dust if it wasn't coated. So it's absolutely incredible. You really don't have to wash your car very often. You can take it right out of the garage. It looks phenomenal. It still sparkles everywhere. And that's what UndrDog does for you. So let's go ahead and give some away. So what's the question for tonight?
All right, everyone, get ready for the question. Get your Google and Alexa and whoever else you talk to on your phone. It's going to be exhaust related. What was the first year of a production Corvette that they offered side-mounted exhaust? So first, not any race versions, but the production year.
Yeah, it has to be a production Corvette.
First year to have offered side-mounted exhaust.
So Andrew wants to know where he can get the. Oh my gosh.
Well, Google is quick.
It is. Wants to know where he can buy this. Just go on thebrinkofspeed.com. In fact, I'll take you guys there real quick. We already have the right answer, so you guys can go ahead and be done. Let me just show you real quick on thebrinkofspeed.com. It's very simple. Just scroll down, and there's UndrDog right in the middle. Click it, and you're in.
Who was asking that, Andrew?
Andrew. Yep.
Yeah, if you have any questions about it, reach out to us.
Yeah.
We can give you some tips. This kit is a good kit to buy. You can also just buy things individually. You can buy bigger bottles if you think you're going to do multiple cars. All right, so let's find the winner.
Yeah.
And I think we have a repeat winner here.
We do.
But you know what, though? He has a newer C8, right? So
does.
hopefully he hasn't coded it yet because this will be perfect.
Yeah.
So correct me if I'm wrong. It's Stupid Fast Truck, right?
It is Stupid Fast Truck.
All right. So
congratulations, man.
But let us know, have you coded your car? Because I know he has... What color is his car? Isn't it like that silver with the blue stripes?
Stupid Fast Truck. Stupid Fast Truck.
Isn't it?
I thought it was yellow.
No? Tell us. Tell us what color your C8 is.
I get them mixed up, but man, he's won probably 2 or 3 times already on the show. But he was quick to draw. He was on my screen. He's number 2. We had Lance Smith saying 1968, and then Stupid Fast Truck was 1965. We had other people that said
63 was a good guess, but there's some technicalities there.
That's right.
So we pre-screen this, and if we're wrong, we're still right. So
so 1963, the Grand Sport had the side exit exhaust, but that was a race car,
right?
As you know.
So Stupid Fast Truck, he did say it's white with blue stripes. I remember it had the blue stripes, which is a little bit unique. But have you coded it yet? If not, this is perfect for you.
Yeah. And even if you have, you can use it on another car. You probably have another car.
Yeah. That's why I always joke with people. I don't know if
car.
I have one in here. Here, let's look so people can see. Yeah, I do.
He says he has not coded it.
Perfect. So
Sweet.
if you need any help, seriously, reach out to myself or Mike. You can call us. I'll walk you through it on the phone. But for those that are wondering, this Marine version, everyone gets confused. Marine is the big 100 milliliter bottle. I tell people, my experience is to buy the big bottle, because what you're going to find, I guarantee it, you're going to use this stuff on one of your cars, and then you're going to start thinking, the wheels are going to start turning, man, what if I did my lawnmower or my leaf blower, or I did a rifle, right?
Yeah.
Or, it just starts, your bicycles, my daughter's bicycles, my daughter's tennis shoes that she wears to school. You just start like all these random things. You're like, so pretty quickly you can go through a pretty big bottle. You'll find yourself using it on all kinds of things. And
yeah, if you have a jet ski or
boats for sure,
a
big
boat,
time. Oh yeah,
this stuff is phenomenal. I mean, it's hard to get those water spots off of your boats and jet skis when you've spent all day on the water and the sun's hitting it, and but with that stuff, that water is going to be off of it as soon as it hits it. It's going to be much easier to get ready to store after you're done with it for the summer.
Oh, look at Trevor chimed in. Your shower glass store, which I still have yet to do that. I need to do that.
I tried it on mine, but I did it wrong.
Yeah, you didn't clean it first.
I didn't clean it correctly.
Yeah.
I used the wrong
My only thing that's held me up on that, because I almost got really motivated one day and did a lot of stuff around the house, and I thought, our cleaning crew that comes through here, if you use harsh chemicals, you'll strip that right off.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just going to be wasting my time. That's what stopped me.
Yeah, but I mean, on the shower door, you really don't have to use anything to clean it as long as you're squeegeeing it every time you shower.
No, I know. And especially if you coated it. I'll do it just for the heck of it.
So you really shouldn't need that. But yeah, so congratulations, Stupid Fast Truck. Great job. Great win again. I'll ship this out to you this week, so you'll have it soon, and you can coat your car. And again, that's a nice product. That's $150 on there. I thought it was less than that, but I guess it's $150.
Yeah, I think that's retail price on it.
It's awesome.
Yeah, and for those that don't go to link, if you use Brinkofspeed, all one word, you'll get 15% off. I think he's still honoring that.
Oh yeah, yeah. You'll get a discount.
So we probably should address some questions.
Yeah, let's do it. We got a little bit of time. C Garner Speed 252 is on. What's up, Clarence?
Yeah, we don't talk to him unless he super chats. So.
Does Forge Light use Underdog to coat the rims?
They do. Yeah, they do. Or they started to because we sent him Joel sent him some product.
Yep.
So yeah, he definitely has been, at least in the last month or two. Mm-hmm. And he was actually very impressed with it too for the same reasons, because they can coat multiple wheels quicker.
Right.
Which, goes back to what we've said.
Speaking of wheels, you know who got their wheels?
Our guy that won? No.
Somebody else that's on here.
Trevor?
Yeah.
He actually physically has them?
He has them.
And he didn't call us and have a party and he really has them?
He really has them.
There's something going on there because he would be more giddy. Maybe, he was busy doing that boat today, so.
Yeah.
Huh.
He has them. I mean, I got pictures of them.
Well, no, Jose sent him pictures. Does he have them? He has them in his...
Okay, clarify that.
I feel like he doesn't, because if he does, he'd probably already have them mounted and be driving around.
Yeah, maybe you're right. So clarify that. I was on vacation. I looked. It looked like you had them, but maybe you don't yet.
I don't think he quite has them. His are going to be really cool. His are just like Elijah. He did something totally different.
Yeah, Bruno says coating the wheels was the best thing I did. Dust is almost non-existent. That is correct. Oh, he doesn't have them yet.
Right.
See, that's crazy. I thought you made it sound like on your text that you had them. But maybe not.
No, but he'll have them. He'll have them very, very soon, though.
Yeah, you should have them probably in a week. If
I think Jose one of them, there's a coating issue on one of them they were going to redo.
Oh, he says Jose wants them perfect before he sends them.
Yeah, because they're doing custom color combination.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Larry. Larry Anthony is on. Welcome. He might have gotten on before, but I didn't see him till now. Let's see. What are the chemical properties of this stuff? That's a great question for someone like Trevor, but more for someone like Joel, the owner.
Yeah, I wouldn't even want to try it. I just dumb it down. It's the same thing as ceramic coating, same concept. If it's same hydrophobic properties, same everything.
Yeah. And there's a little bit of a difference. Definitely a little bit.
But it's funny, and I don't know if he's just trying to be funny, is Dr. Corvette said it takes way too long to flash. He said 8 to 12 minutes, but is that a bad thing?
Yeah, if you think that's bad, I'm curious to know why, because what that allows you to do is larger sections. Like if you go back and you watch my video of doing Captain America, I loved it because I did basically my car in 4 separate sections. And to me, that makes you be able to work a little faster. If you're having to do a little tiny section, wipe it off. A little tiny section, wipe it off. To me, that's easier to forget where you're at. And that's something that I'll do.
Yeah, it takes some of the stress off. I remember the first several cars I did, I used the Chemical Guys do-it-yourself product, which is decent, but it flashes really quick.
Yes.
And every single vehicle that I did, there were spots that I missed that I had to go back and fix.
Exactly.
And then you stress out once you've done, it's easy to fix, but you just overthink it.
Yeah. And Trevor did my entire car.
Really?
He coated the entire BOS 2.0 before he took any of it off. I mean, he's a lot quicker than me because he's been doing this forever and he knows how to, get it done faster.
I will say too, and I'm sure you can buy those towels anywhere, but those towels that Underdog sells, the fluffy ones, Those things work amazing.
Oh, they're phenomenal.
And they're washable. That's the other thing too with this product, because it's Teflon based instead of graphene.
Right.
Your towels you can wash. So what I do is when I'm immediately done with a bucket, just throw some Dawn dish soap in it, warm water, throw my towels that I just used, let them sit overnight, and just throw them in the washing machine, and I'm good to go. And I've used, I've used mine, 5-6 times now on coating vehicles.
So Joey B wants to know when the next big giveaway is. Well, I don't know yet. It should be soon, but I'm not exactly sure yet. So I will let you guys know as soon as we know.
Yeah, there's a couple different angles on that question.
Yeah.
But Carlisle could be a big giveaway situation.
Carlo is going to be huge.
Which pretty much that's a done deal. It is a done deal, but there's multiple parties involved, so we don't want to.
Right. We're not. It's definitely going to be a surprise. I don't know if you guys will know before we get to Carlisle.
No, they're going to know. I think that's the plan.
Okay, all right. He knows more about it than me. But yeah, we've got something big coming up for Carlisle for sure. So if worst case scenario happens, you're definitely about to get something big with Carlisle. But hopefully we'll have something before then. I'm trying to work out some deals, and I hope it happens sooner than later. So, let's see. Anybody else? Yeah, Elijah Ray says those towels are the best. Mm-hmm. Doing the entire interior was a breeze. I even did my engine bay. Exactly.
Really? Who said that, Bruno?
No, General Lee.
General Lee did it. Wow.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, no, the engine area, that's a great point. I did mine, obviously, all that underneath side of the hardtop convertible, underside the trunk, the frunk, all that plastic. And it gives it, the cool thing when you do plastic, whether it be that type of plastic or mirrors or shoot, I even did like my truck bed cover. It gives it that nice, fresh sheen look, but not overly sheen.
Right.
And I don't know if I showed you. I should show Trevor this. I helped a friend do his 2013 Ford Raptor that sits outside every day, all day. But he's obsessive about washing it. He washes it once a week. But it had a lot of swirls, and it needed... So we did a quick paint correction that turned out pretty good. Good enough where he was happy with it. It's actually a black truck. And we used the Underdog on it. And his bed cover, because it's 10 years old, been sitting out, and it's like a fold-up one. It had like almost like a grayish, whitish.
Oh, yeah.
Did I show you that picture?
No, but I know exactly what that looks like.
The before and the after. I don't know if I can
Oh, yeah, you have shown me.
I might actually have it in my Underdog folder. If I do, I'll show everyone. It's amazing that he was just blown away that his old beat-up bed cover that he thought, was just trash, pretty much looked like brand new.
Yep. Supercar Ranch is saying, you guys going to join Threads?
See if you can show that to him. That's before and after. See if it'll show up in the... See what I mean?
Yeah, that's insane.
Show him. See if you go up close.
I don't know if they're going to be able to see that. I might have to put it on the...
No, they can see. So, yeah, okay, there you go. So, no joke, where that bottle is sitting on is what it looked like before. Above it is after.
Look how dark
that's like an aluminum backflip bed cover that was been on that truck for 10 years.
Like a gator?
No, like I have on my truck. It's called backflip. Like it flips, like three-piece. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what mine was called, was a gator.
And I wasn't even sure how it was going to look. He's like, do you think, let's try it. I'm like, we're not going to, it turned out phenomenal.
Yeah, it's excellent stuff. I highly recommend it to everybody. If you have not bought any yet, go on the website. You can get there just by typing in getunderdog.com, or you can go right through the Brinkofspeed website. Doesn't matter.
What's Supercar Ranch saying? You guys going to join Threads?
I don't know. That's what I was asking.
Is that like what the cool kids are saying now? I don't even know what that means.
I don't know.
Of course, today's Wednesday, but it feels like a Monday in my mind.
Yeah, it definitely feels not like a Wednesday to me. Yeah, clarify what you mean there, because we'd like to know what you mean by that.
See any other good questions in here?
Instagram's new Twitter app. Never heard of it. I'll have to look. I didn't even get a notification saying that existed. So I'll have to check it out. Instagram's new Twitter app.
I think it's just like, when Instagram ventured into doing stories and reels, it's basically, they're trying to make it like a short form, like like Twitter, but on Instagram. I think I'd heard about it.
Yeah, that's interesting. Bruno wants to know if Underdog will be at Carlisle. Yes, they will.
Hey, you're letting secrets out. Are they doing giveaways?
Underdog will be there. I think the Detail Lab's going to be there.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be some other people there. I think you guys are going to really love what we have planned. Let's put it that way. All right. Well, I think that's going to bring us to the end. We're a few minutes past 8. So let us go ahead and finish this up. But thank you to everyone who super chatted tonight. We really appreciate that. That really helps out. Also, thank you to everyone for joining, all the new people. If you have not joined the wonderful Brinkofspeed community, please do so by smashing the red subscribe button and the bell for notifications. That way you'll know when these come out. Now, if you're new, these are every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we go an hour. That's why we call it Octane Hour. So, like I said, that is going to do it. I hope each and every one of you have a wonderful rest of your week, and hopefully we'll see you at Corvette World. If not, we'll see you on the next Octane Hour.